Rounding off a busy week, I was also able to surprise the winner of the Too Cool to Loot logo contest hosted by UNICEF and my ministry. The winner, again, is Mrs. Cochiquetzo Lee Gonzalez Toro, and she was also the winner of this year's Culture Prize. She's a student of the Charlotte Broxton Academy. She's displayed extraordinary talent, and the Culture Department recognized her with her ability to indeed present and design the logo for the campaign. Right in line with the concept of equipping ourselves and strengthening the capacity of St. Martin and its citizens, I'm very pleased to disclose that in yesterday's Council of Ministers meeting, the approval for the principal agreement to pursue the long-awaited law faculty program on St. Martin offered by the University of Curaçao received its support. In May, I had a report commissioned to study the feasibility of starting the law program at the University of St. Martin as early as September 2018. The study was executed and the report written by Dr. Rhoda Arendel, who has been involved in the earlier stages of the exploration and feasibility of the program as well. The objectives of the program stems from the assignment given, of course, by the then Minister of Finance to finalize the feasibility study on a law program on St. Martin in cooperation with the said university in Curaçao. However, due to the passage of Hurricane Irma, the execution of the program was halted and has been picked up by my person and revisited. The goal remains to produce a team of homegrown lawyers through a Dutch Caribbean law program and offer more opportunities, therefore, for lifelong learning and higher education on island. I have emphasized on many occasions my belief for education as an important strategy for social and economic development, and this is therefore a prime example. The report submitted by Dr. Arendel gave advice regarding the objectives of the law program and the initial proposed pre-law program. I prefer not to pursue the route of an established so-called law foundation to execute the program, and would like to see whether we can simplify and have effective, minimal, strong organizations. And in this case, of course, the University of Curaçao has the accreditation of a very, very critical program, and we would explore, and they are requested to assist us also in the development and strengthening of our own capabilities to have this program executed. The initial proposal for the law program at the University of St. Martin was therefore for two interconnected programs. As I mentioned, the pre-law program offered therefore by USM and a Bachelor and Master of Law program, BA and MA, offered by the University of Curaçao. Now, as mentioned, the BA-MA program will be executed by them, and this means that students in St. Martin have to meet the same requirements for admission into the BA-MA program as the students in Curaçao, because this part-time program will start simultaneously in September on Curaçao and on St. Martin. The students therefore need to possess a VWO diploma from an institution within the Kingdom of the Netherlands or equivalent, possess a HAVO diploma along with the first year HBO or bachelor training, possess a HAVO or a CXC CSEC or O-level diploma along with the entrance exam on the level of colloquium doctum, and other requirements are necessary such as the staatsexamen. Another alternative could be that if we have the pre-law program in effect, that could be then also a qualifier to enroll in the bachelor or master degree program. Even though we will start therefore with the law program in September, the University of Curaçao and University of St. Martin are in consultation to indeed review and prepare for options to start a pre-law program in January 2019. The budget for the proposed program would come from the Ministry of Finance under a budget post that was set up by the former minister and especially therefore created for this project. And I'm very happy to have received the blessing of my colleague Minister Mike Ferrier and the entire Council of Ministers for this support, as we all dearly recognize possibilities for socio-economic activity and this further strengthening of USM. We will have the remaining costs to start up this year taken from that budget post, and hopefully in the near future then the necessary transfers will happen to ensure that sufficient funds are available on the Ministries of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport program. Therefore, I'm thanking the Secretary General of the Ministry, Dr. Rhoda Arendel, Dr. Goudappel from the University of Curaçao, for their preparatory work, for their partnership, their consultations, and I wish them also success, because we're now going to engage in a further advice, a second agreement that will therefore reflect the final service level agreement to be reached and to be signed off. But with this preliminary principal agreement, we have been able to confirm that we're able to keep matters within the available budget, and we are then able to also indeed start the first initial marketing and set up preparations in consultations with all parties, such as also the University of Sint Maarten.
Saturday, June 16th, 2018. Bingo drive back again. Tell your family and friends. 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Community Center in Bel Air. $10 you have to pay in order to win. So come down to Wally, have a tongue. Bingo drive, it's going to be fun. Bingo, 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 bingo. Airline tickets, hotel stays, that's not all. Sorts of goodies to be won. Bingo, 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 bingo. Yes, folks, the Lions Pre-Fathers Day Bingo is on this coming Saturday, June 16th at the Bel Air Community Center in Cahill. We will also be raffling the car at the same night at the bingo drive. So come out, folks, and have fun and win a car at the same time. Anybody bingo? Nobody bingo.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Tell them, connecting you.
By, in this case, MP Smith, with respect to the handling of this particular piece of law, and very specifically, the Member of Parliament, MP Smith, proposed or alluded to this matter being sent to a committee before coming to the Central Committee meeting of Parliament. First of all, I want to commend MP Smith for the research that he did with respect to matters related to this law, its coming into being, etc. I am sure that that information was not only informative for colleague members of Parliament, but also for the general public. However, I want to stress that this is a draft law proposed by the government. And so, if members of Parliament have specific questions with respect to the law or related matters, they will have to be posed to the government. It is a necessary part of the legislative trajectory that matters be handled in the Central Committee of Parliament and that a report be made of the handling there. If there is a specific matter relating to this law or any other draft law that Parliament feels it necessary to refer to a committee to investigate and to research, that can always be done. However, with laws coming from the government, the onus is on the government to provide Parliament with any additional documentation, any clarification, etc., that is necessary. So I just wanted to refer to the proposal made by MP Smith regarding a committee of Parliament, and any handling in the committee, any committee, does not take away the responsibility of the Central Committee and all 15 members of Parliament to do whatever research that he would like to do in terms of preparing for the discussion on the draft law. But I am really appreciative of the information put forward by MP Smith, because again, it assists in the entire process of this law. Because while we are talking about the length of this draft law being in process, coming from the Antillean government, etc., etc., the fact remains that it is an important piece of legislation. And while it is called administrative jurisdiction, administrative proceedings, I think the essence of it, and just maybe the minister indeed, like requested by more than one member of Parliament, would want to go into the essence of the law. And that is giving persons the opportunity to take a decision of government that regards that person. Where can you go with a decision of government, a government body that you are not in agreement with? And I think, and I look towards the minister, and I would like him to stress that again for general knowledge. That's the essence of this law, administratieve rechtspraak. It sounds like something distant, like the court, or, but it has to do with a law that is actually the basis of the relationship between the government and those governed by the government. What can a member of this society do with respect to a decision taken by the government, or not taking a decision on a request, or whatever have you, again, that relationship between the government and the governed. So I think while the technical part of the law is important, the coming into being of it is important, the fact that the government agreed that Parliament should continue the handling of it, it is in essence a fundamental piece of the entire system in which we operate. So I would ask the minister, but before I ask him, to maybe go into that matter, the essence of the administratieve rechtspraak, administrative jurisdiction, administrative proceedings, administrative court, whatever we want to put it under. The fact remains that this particular change amends our law, an existing law that establishes what is open to members of the public with respect to a decision taken as far as it regards them by the government and parts of government. So with that, I would now go over and we'll continue the discussion with respect to the draft law, but I put it with the minister that be further elucidated, because it could seem like we're talking about some distant piece of law, but it is fundamental in
People all across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 fun mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of fun miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free fun miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
Fun miles, from within your reach.
Tell them, connecting you.
The issue that I'd like to just bring to your attention today is our monetary unit. As you know, we're still using the Antillean guilder, the Netherlands Antillean guilder. Back in 10, the Central Bank of Curaçao and St. Martin was established basically when we had the two countries emerge from the change of our kingdom setup. And we have a situation with regards to the what monetary unit are we going to use. Based on existing legislation, the country, St. Martin, could continue using the old Netherlands Antillean florin, the old Netherlands Antillean guilder, which we're all so familiar with. However, we have some issues coming up. As you know, for one thing, banknotes, they tend to get destroyed, they tend to get to a condition where they cannot be used anymore, so they need to be taken out of circulation. Right now there is a supply of approximately 2 years left at the normal rate of attrition, normal rate of old banknotes being taken out. And so a decision has to be taken if we are going to print more, have more replacement banknotes made. But that brings a couple of questions. One, we have a monetary unit with Curaçao right now. Question is, will that continue for a long, long time yet, or will we decide to do something different? If we continue with Curaçao, which right now it looks that's the way it is, but it's being evaluated, or we're going to take a look at how to go on about that. PricewaterhouseCoopers made a report in 2014, I believe, in which they also suggested that an evaluation take place whether or not Curaçao and St. Martin should continue in the monetary unit or not. But let's take that we will continue if that's the case. Then we need to decide what are we going to do about the guilder. We cannot continue with printing the Netherlands Antillian guilder anymore, simply because technical issues with that. One is the ability to forge, to make forgeries out of the present banknotes seems to be technologically possible, and so they'd have to upgrade that technology. And to do that, it seems to be extremely expensive. So that's one of the technical aspects of, do we want to invest more money in just upgrading a currency that eventually will have to disappear? There's talk about a Caribbean guilder, and to get that arrangement made, like I said, we need to determine first, are we going to continue with Curacao as a monetary unit, and if so, we need to then decide, what are we going to do? Are we going to have a Caribbean guilder? Are we going to dollarize? Are we going to eurorize? Whatever it is that we're going to do will need to be determined. So I've started, the contact has been made between myself and my colleague in Curacao, the Minister of Finance, and we are starting up that conversation as soon as possible, because we need to make a decision as soon as possible with regards to where we're going and what we're going to do.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
If everything goes good and Mother Nature takes care that there's no big issue during the coming months of hurricane, in December we'll be back having that real big Christmas Wally Haverton. This was the one that was postponed in December, and we have made it a little smaller, but it's the same with the same concept and with the same.
It is the Lion
animal.
Wally's Christmas, the Lion
Wally.
Wally Haverton
Annual Christmas bingo.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
But now it's for Father's Day, so we just changed the Christmas into Father's Day.
And we have a lot of nice prices. We are looking at building materials, because after the hurricane, everyone can do with relief. So you're not gonna get a Christmas basket with the goodies for Christmas, but we have baskets that will include food.
Food
items and grocery
Restaurants,
items, the
air tickets,
airplane tickets, and definitely construction.
Who were the persons who contributed to making this possible? By that I mean, who are some of your main sponsors?
Well, let's put it this way: we have, as always, we always go out to ask the community, at large, business community. And I think after the big project that we held, a lot of businesses has now opened up, because they are seeing again, hey, we are active. So a lot of them are sponsors that we have during the year, who are some of our main sponsors, let's say, that always help. But there are new sponsors that come on board. We ask them for a donation of $350 towards a basket. And that is what we are receiving for now.
And we're basically putting the list together. It's not finalized, because members still have to bring in their donations. So when we have the list together on the evening of the bingo, we will also be displaying,
their logos,
and
everything.
So we don't have all that information in us yet.
And of course, monies who raised during the bingo will be rejected into the community.
Yes.
Last year, you also hosted the bingo as well. This took place at the harbor. Approximately how much money was raised?
I'll be honest with you, that was about between 20 to 40 was thousand was raised for that. Dollars. So like I said, the community, they themselves sponsor their own projects for the community, and that's what we like about it. If you look, for instance, at Sabre Lions Club, they do a lot of, they get a lot of sponsorship from entities from abroad, for instance, from the government, the Dutch government. We are trying that also, to have that in place for long-standing projects that we have. But up to now, we have not finalized that trajectory. We have not finalized that. But most of ours are business, community businesses that do these type of sponsorship because they have been there.
And they also see the value of the
Yes.
projects that we're executing for the community. So that's the main reason.
Let me ask you a final question. You recently had a testing project. Monies raised during this bingo in particular, is there any project that you're looking at as the club?
Well, the money what is being raised during this project will be turned over now to the new incoming board. As you know, our board sits from the 1st of July to the 30th of June. So the new incoming board, they have their plans. I know that, for instance, I will be the past president, so I already know that it will be catered to the youth projects. So there will be more youth projects again this year, and that's where the funds will be going towards to. No funds that is raised via the community is spent on the club. That's why we have two different kind of budget accounts. One is the administrative account. That's where you see these beautiful chairs that you want was bought, for instance.
That comes from the dues.
From what you pay. And the rest is the community that really have to go back in the community. Our books are always controlled also by an external accounting bureau, audit bureau, so that we are always in the guidelines according to Lions International.